Peter Franklin is the Gabby Cabby in New York City, and he's on the line with us right now. Good morning, Peter. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the streets of New York.
You're not the only one. You don't have an exclusive on the crazies of the world. We kind of have our own crazy celebrities up here, too. It's pretty big.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
I'm not sure we are, but yeah. A couple interesting little stories, by the way. How is the weather? Is it warmed up after the snow? Did you get much snow out of all this?
Well, snow in New York City is beautiful. It's like a Currier in Ives lithograph. But I got to tell you, after a couple of days, oh my Lord, does it look horrible. It's just dirty and filthy. And by the way, let me tell you how we get rid of it, because that's an important part of this dirty, filthy thing. We don't just dump it into the ocean, because everybody would go nuts over that, pollution and all that. What we actually do is we have big, huge trucks that pick up the snow with forklifts and all that kind of stuff. And then they melt the snow down on the spot right there, turn it into sewer water, and it goes out in the sewer system. So we're pretty good about cleaning it up. But anyway, it's not cleaned up all, and it looks kind of ghastly.
It's even though you didn't get, we ended up getting much of what you guys were going to get. But, 8-10 inches in New York, that's a lot of snow to get rid of.
Yeah, it is, but we have a lot of advantages because we do have thousands of garbage trucks that are converted into snow plows. They put a blade on the front of them. Yeah. But, of course, that presents another problem. If you don't pick up garbage in New York City for about 3 or 4 days, then you got another mess. But it's still my city, and I love it, and I guess it's just almost too big to handle.
Peter Franklin, as you're driving by Trump Tower, any visuals on some possible wiretapping? You seen anything there?
Yeah, I know. They're making such a big deal out of it. As if, they say you got to go to the FISA court and this, that, and the other thing. It's so easy to tap a phone line in New York City. It's unbelievable. All you got to do is get a willing phone man to help you, and you got to tap on the line. I'm not saying they do that, though. Yeah. But, they're making it seem like, wow, they can tap the phone. The thing that's interesting about the Trump building and why I suggest people go over and take a look at it is, after all, the guy is president of the United States. That is his home, or at least one of his homes. And you see New York City cops in steel helmets, bulletproof vests, and machine guns. That's a very unusual sight to see in New York City.
How about the rate fares, the fare hikes on transportation going on right now?
It's gone up this week, and not tremendously, but a buck here, a buck there. It's to everybody's economic burdens. At the same time, people are coming forward and complaining that the subways are dirty, they're crowded, they're filthy, they're terrible. None of which is really true. It's just a huge system that's probably impossible to run by anybody. And I guess they do the best they can.
And then I wanted to ask you, the Broadway show Hello, Dolly has opened up, and Bette Midler is a part of that, and standing ovations, but there's stuff going on backstage that people have no idea about.
Yeah, well, that was the big story this week, that they must have gotten some kind of food poisoning or some kind of flu, because everybody on the crew and the cast got sick. And they were barfing, and don't mean to upset anybody's breakfast. Yeah. So, it was like panic swept the theater, and they had to slow down and then finally stop the show. So it must have been something, as we would say in New York, something they ate.
And then I wanted to ask you about the story about the school, which has no American flag. That's something traditional you see in a school, is the American flag, and also the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, well, we didn't know. It was one of the stories that nobody really knew about it. It's called the Pecksliff School. All schools in New York City have real names, but we call them like PS14, PS15, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And it turns out that this school, the people who run the school, I can't sing out who it is, but the fact of the matter is they've never done the Pledge of Allegiance. They don't have a flag there. And this has been going on for some time. And interestingly enough, of course, a lot of parents have been very, very upset about it. Well, now they're going to make the school do the Pledge of Allegiance, but the children will be able to opt out of that. Can you imagine? You're a father or mother of a kid, and you call the school and you say, well, okay, if you're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance, I guess I can't stop you, but don't make my kid do it.
We see it for religious reasons. We see it up here. Certain religious reasons why somebody can't stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. But to have it be really a policy of a school, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is, and I'm sorry, I can't give you a waiver on the religion thing either. It's no big deal. I mean, I think it's one of the reasons that should unite a country. You're not pledging. It's not. I pledge slavery to the United States.
Yeah.
I pledge worship to the United States. You allegiance. Allegiance is a pretty innocuous word.
Gabby Cabby, it's the best tour in New York City. It's Gabby.com, and as always, we love talking to you, Peter. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Everybody have a great day.
Have a great day and a great week. Peter Franklin.